Hey everybody, welcome to etrailer.com. I'm Bobby, and today we're taking a look at the Kuat Sherpa 2.0 bike rack for two bikes on our 2020 Chevy Colorado. Now as you can see, it's going to be a nice stylish way of getting our bikes on the road with us, and we're also getting a platform style, and we are also getting a wheel hold mount here. So if you're looking a way of getting those carbon frame bikes on the road with you, this is going to be a great option, as we aren't getting any frame contact, so we won't be damaging that carbon frame at all. Definitely being a great way of getting those carbon frames. However, this also makes it pretty adaptive to most bikes that you want to get on here. You're not going to have too much trouble with those women's bikes, standard bikes, mountain bikes, anything of that nature, as we aren't going to our frame. So usually we won't have to be picking up any bike adapter bars because we don't catching to our frame. Definitely not going to be having any issue there, which is going to be nice. As you see, getting a nice stable platform here as well, getting a pretty good tire hold on the back end here as well. So let's go ahead and take a look at the cradles themselves. Taking a look at the arm here, you can see we do have a ratcheting arm system. It's going to be very easy to use. As you can see, this lever up here just actually extends this out, and then we can actually ratchet this down. You can probably hear those clicks going, and as you can see, doing a good job of not letting it go back up unless we push that lever, of course. Pushing that lever just to get it down, and we go ahead and actually get that out of our way. Take a look at the straps themselves. A little plastic stripping here. As you can see, very easy ratchet strap. I like how they have this included little kind of padding on the inside of here, making sure we're not going to be damaging our wheel frames at all, or those rims. It's going to be very easy to ratchet that down as well, like so. You can see we have this oscillating wheel mount here too, so that's going to be great. You can see you get in that inner groove for those standard tires, a little bit wider for those mountain and those fatter tires. Now this strip isn't going to be too long for those fat tire bikes, so if you're looking for a fat tire that has the correct width, but maybe it's a little bit taller, Kuat does offer a fatter back tire strip. They can actually put that in, make sure that those fat tires are going to work for us. Taking a look too, we do have an integrated cable lock here. It does come with a cable lock as well. We just don't have it in with us today. As you can do, just run that through both of our frames and click in, and this will be keyed alike to our anti-rattle device, which will be nice of actually securing this into our rack here, into our frame. Can be doing a job making sure our bikes are secured, and so is our rack. Obviously you can see how stylish this is. This gloss can do a really good job. Also going to be very durable. Don't think we're going to have any issues at all with it of actually getting in the way. So that's going to be very, very nice for us. Taking a look too, you can see we are going to get a nice stable platform on there as well. Let's go ahead and get this arm out of the way, and let's go ahead and actually take off this. Well, before we get too far ahead of ourselves, let's actually look at the tilting feature of this guy. Another great option with this is we can actually tilt this a little bit away from our vehicle, and all we have to do is come into our lever right here and just gently push it down. Now keep in mind, this does have a 40-pound weight capacity per bike, so if we're getting a little bit heavier bikes on there, just make sure we're watching that. We don't want to be dropping that mass too quickly. And taking a look here, opening up our tailgate here. Looks like we're going to maybe have a little bit of issue with our frame here. Yep, going to be hitting right on our bike. So with our bikes up on here today, we actually aren't going to be opening this space for our Colorado. Kind of a bummer. However, you're not going to be getting a lot of these platforms to actually work with that tilt-away feature, since we do have such a big tailgate. But if you have a different vehicle in the family as well, this can be a great way to switch those between. If you have any kind of hatch style, it's definitely going to be able to make sure that you're getting past it. Just be sure, making sure you're watching those fit guides for those other vehicles, making sure that it actually gets past. But it's great that that is an option. And we take a look here too. We can go ahead and take this guy off really quick. As we mentioned before, these plastic stripping, very easy to unratchet, just pressing that lever down, getting that up and out of the way. And then we will make sure we have a hand on our bike. We don't want that tilting into our vehicle or ourselves. Don't want to do any kind of damage. And then on this ratcheting arm here, we go ahead and press in that lever. So you can see it's going to raise that up. We go ahead and push that all the way to the side, making a nice clear platform. Just grab both ends of our bike and walk it right off. Of course, this is a carbon frame bike. Pretty lightweight for me to just move it right off. But again, with 40 pounds and how close we can actually get up into here, especially because this is nice and condensed, I don't think we're going to have any issues at all getting those out of the way. So we'll go ahead and collapse this down. And if you're really worried about it too, if you're going on some long trips, you can always take this stripping and kind of just put it through this arm as well and re-secure it. Just another way to make sure it's good. And it also, what's great about these is you can actually bring those nice and down and condensed. Going to save us a lot of space. Hopefully keep any weather from building up inside that platform as well. Anything we can do to condense that down and make it look nicer is going to be great. And take a look, now that we actually have the bikes off, we should be able to go ahead and just drop down that. Yep, and seeing that we're making no contact with our bike rack, I can see I can put my full weight on here. Now I can come in, I can grab those coolers that we got for the kiddos or for ourselves, pull them over, open it up, and even use this full weight on here. I can even hop up in here if I needed. So this is pretty nice. That is actually lower than our tailgate. Definitely make sure we're getting the full use of the back of our vehicle. Now, with any hitch mounted accessory, we are going to add a little bit of length. So let's go ahead and take a quick look and see how much we're adding on. We are in the Colorado, so we are already in a longer vehicle. So every little bit adds up. And at 33¼ inches, we are adding a little bit of length to the back of our vehicle. Definitely nothing crazy though, especially for a nice 2-bike platform rack here. But anything we can do to actually reduce that is going to go a long way. Now, we mentioned before, we do have this little lever system here. So we're going to go ahead and utilize that again. Make sure we're supporting our mast. And we're just going to press that in and simply walk it up into position. You're going to see it's going to click. You can see doing a really nice job of being nice and secure. There's not a pin to worry about. Nothing like that that's really going to be getting in the way. We can go ahead and stick that strap out of the way if we needed to on the road. As you can see, going to be doing a good job. Not going to have any issues to the back of our vehicle. So let's go ahead and get some quick dimensions here. See how much space we actually saved. And from the rear of our bumper to the very end of our anti-rattle knob, looks to be about 16 inches, about 16¼ inches to the very end of that guy. So already shaving down about half of that length. Now hopefully we can pull this in the garage. Maybe we have any tight parking spaces we need to get into once we have the bikes off. This will be a really easy way of getting us a lot more maneuverability. Doing a really good job of being stable as well. You always like to see that. No play really in this at all. Not going to be damaging our vehicle. And as we mentioned before, if you're really worried about these arms, again, they got a pretty good resistance to them. However, you could go ahead and restrap those down just if you have a very long ride, getting a lot of bumps. Now, another important thing to keep in mind is our clearance to the ground. Now, as those front wheels go up, the back wheels will go down, and so will our hitch-mounted accessories. So as you can kind of see here, we are having a little bit of clearance, but being up on the Colorado, definitely not going to be too much of an issue. And at 17¼ inches, I definitely think we're not going to have any issues at all. But just keep in mind, if you have anything very steep terrain, maybe a very tall driveway, or if you're doing some off-roading, just keep in mind we do have something hanging off our back hitch here. Now, what's great about this guy as well, this is actually our anti-rattle, anti-wobble device here. And what's great about it, a lot of times you get those threaded anti-rattle hitch bolts, and they work very well. They are pretty standard across the industry. However, they can cross thread. They're a pain to get to. They're underneath the hitch. We got to get on our hands and knees. Here, I can just walk up. I can get this in place, and I can actually just stand here and tighten this into position, or I can loosen it right here as well. I don't have to get on my hands and my knees, especially if we're out of the trail. Things are a little muddy and dirty. Definitely going to be nice to give us that nice ease of use. And if you really need it to, it does have an Allen key inside here as well that can be really used to make sure it's nice and tightened. So moving our way down the shank, we do have a 2-inch receiver here. And you can see today we've gone ahead and thrown on our etrailer hitch pin alignment collar. Now what this does, it's sold separately. However, as you can see, it's going to go ahead and once we got this matched up to our hitch, we're going to be able to pull this out next time. And now when we go to reattach this to our hitch, it's going to find its hitch pin alignment perfectly. That means we're going to have to fight it a lot less. This guy's not too weighty, so definitely not going to be too hard to pull this guy on and off, but it just makes it that much easier. We're going to have to fight with it a lot less. It's just something that can make our life way useful or easier, especially with that anti-rattle knob on the end. Just makes this whole process easier. And you can see just a simple little pin alignment in here today, just to make sure we're aligned, and with a little clip on the end just to hold it in there. So definitely doing a good job of making it nice and easy for ourselves to install this on there. Well, if you're looking for a sleek way of getting your bikes to the trail with you, this is definitely going to be a great option. Yes, we're getting those carbon frame bikes. Those other styles of bikes are also going to be on here. But at 40-pound capacity, you're not going to be getting those e-bikes on here. Definitely would be looking at a little bit higher weight capacity if you're looking for those guys. However, you can't really beat the sleek, cool look of the Kuat, and also the ease of use. I mean, as you can see, I can even just use my foot here, start tilting this back, walk it right in position, easily walk it right back up too. And even with those bikes being in the way, it can be a little weighty if you have a first one in here to get to that lever. However, a simple hand across, pulling that open makes it really easy. So I love the ease of use, as well as this being here Don't have to get on my hands and knees as much. Makes it for really nice. Well, I think that about does it for our look for the Kuat Sherpa 2.0 on our 2020 Chevy Colorado. I'm Bobby. Thank you for watching.
This is our test course. Let's start with the slalom. This shows side-to-side action, such as turning corners or evasive maneuvering. Then on to our alternating speed bumps. This shows twisting action, such as hitting curbs, potholes, road debris, or uneven pavement. And last of all, the solid speed bumps. This shows up and down action, such as driving through a parking lot or parking garage, or driving in and out of a driveway.